Hey guys, TheGamingSandwich here. So, pretty much I'm going to go through my local report. It's not really a great one, so a local report, and I'll probably add this over the deck profile later on. So, pretty much we had a small locals this week, so not many people turned up. Obviously, if you lived in the UK, pretty bad snow and stuff this weekend, so a lot of people kind of like turned off the idea of like making the trip. So, fair enough, but it is, can't go with that. Roads weren't gritted, so it didn't really help anything much. So we had a small locals. I think it's about 12 people, possibly 12 people locals. So they decided 3 rounds, which weren't great. We're hoping for 4, but 3 will do. Went undefeated again with Goki, which is really really good. Um, Pretty much, I was going to play a different deck, and then some of the more kind of like more competitive players showed up. Like we have about 4 or 5 really competitive players. So we played like good tier meta deck. So I was like, okay. I've been on a 6 day straight. I've been at work since last Sunday, and I pretty much like my last day was Saturday, and I just literally just finished like an 8 hour shift. I'd gone home, I chilled for a bit. I came to work, I wasn't feeling the best, and I decided like, look, I'm just gonna play Goki. It's the deck I can pretty much like pick up and play, which is not that's my microwave, that's my food. So, so the idea would be to just play something that I can just go to and not overly think about too hard with siding. Most of the good Goki stuff has really good, nice interactions with siding, so that's cool. So yeah, that was good. So game one, I played with my friend Jordan. He was playing Soul Sword. So I'll go for the round one. Game one I lose. I open up double imperm and a load of other stuff. It's just I don't draw any monsters. So I do that. He normal summons. I imperm. He special summons the other one. I imperm again. And then next turn, I just do draw a follow up monster, and then he just say, I'm just like, nah, I'm dead. That's it. I'm done. So that's fine. Game two, I just hard side in. So I side in Titanociders and my synchro out. So it was literally he just like I do that. I get a board together. I reveal my face down. He can't make a synchro board. So it's like yeah, that stops him but good. And then so I pretty much win that. And then game two, I pretty much imperm him twice. I imperm him. He has no follow up. It's just unfortunate. He just doesn't have a follow up. He sided in the lightning storms. I just didn't draw him. I pretty much then going to go a Goki OTK mode, and it's just like bang bang dead. That's it. So that's fine. So that was that. Game two, I went against a kid playing DDDs who I sadly lost to the week before, playing Shadolf because that way I just bricked. So he just goes game one, does stuff, doesn't read Giant Ogre too well, and realizes that he tries to Fogblade it, I negate it. He's like, okay, and then doesn't realize it becomes a 3500 constantly. Well, you trigger the effect, but you always do it during the standby phase, so it's fine. So pretty much like the highest attack DDD monster you can get is like I think it's like 6,000, so you can deal me 2,500 damage, and then it's like nothing else can hit over that. So I was like, okay, I've got at least. So I look at the board, I'm like, I've got at least 3 turns to kill this thing. So pretty much, I think I killed his monster that the DDD fusion that makes him gain life instead of losing it for the contracts, and then pretty much left him with 6,000 life. Left him with like 2,600, and then he burns himself twice for those. So it's like burn, burn. He managed to get rid of it, and then next turn I just managed to just hit the attack over and poke over his monster and killed him with that. That's fun. Game two, I hard draw my out, which basically says he just can't special summon level 5 or higher. Just basically like Ophion for it. He was one just completely blow out. He's just like, I can't play. I'm like, I know. Do you got out? He's like, nope. He's like, I'm like, okay, because if not, I'm just going to OTK you this turn. He's like, okay, that's fine. He goes, try and go for the OTK. I pretty much slam him for, what was it, 9,000 damage. He's like, yeah, that's it, done. So 2-0'd him. Next was an odd one because we had a lot of like roguish decks this time, so and we had a go playing Zombie World, and pretty much he was like winning because obviously Zombie World like really trashes loads of stuff and messes it up, so that's fine. Played against him. he drew Zombie World. He thought because I was playing Goki, it was going to mess with my Isolde plays, and I only really won one. And Isolde, they play kind of brick hard, so it's not the be all and end all. So pretty much it was he does stuff, I negate, and I pretty much just like OTK'd him turn two. So yeah, I went turn one, got a big monster out. He can't do anything about it. I just then next turn kill him with it. Game two. He tries to do something with even, so I evenly. He gets rid of stuff. He twin twisters to pitch something to the graveyard. He summons it back. He thinks that's going to be fine enough to save him from the evenly. I'm like, okay, it's not, because I'm going to. Then it's like, okay, I pretty much like nick it with mind control and just proceed to OTK that way. So it's not that. Under Solon policy, I came. So I went XO, so 3 wins, no losses. That's fine. I'm very happy with that, especially the matchups. So it's one meta deck, 2 rogues, so it's fine. So that's fine with me. So that was good. And I played the guy who won. He went XO the same as me, so that's fine. It was just due to tiebreakers, so not fast. I got an OTS and a pack for entry. I equaled out. I didn't exceed my budget, but I equaled out, so that's fine. And so yeah, it weren't too bad. All I can say is like some of the more like interestingly side cards are just pure hate. It's just fun these days. People just don't know what to do with it. So I would suggest like looking to some of your older cards, because that's like really, really knocking people for 6. So that's cool. And I was trying to think else. So afterwards, me and the guy who won, we had the shop was going to close, but they decided to let us like have a match out. He was playing Invoke Dogmatica Shadows. This goes on for quite a long time. This game does. It's very back and forth. He understands how my deck works. I understand roughly how his deck works. So I know with him having Alistair in hand, it's pretty much a damage modifier just during damage steps. So I'm like, that's fine. So every time he attacks with a fusion, I'm always very wary of it. Like, why? Like, okay, what are you going to pitch it now? Pitch it later. So it's like I'm very kind of like the thing with Alistair. It is like a mini Kalu, but you're always aware of it. Yeah, but short is I managed to OTK him twice. So yeah, did pretty good. So pretty much I went X4 technically. But yeah, I've probably wrote down a deck list because we've got regionals coming up, so I'm still modifying my deck to be the best it can be. So, but I will give a very in-depth tournament raw on Goki for the regional. I do intend to do a vlog for that, so that's gonna be a fun one for me. So I'm gonna be at work the same day. Every day of these, I go to work. I'm sorry, guys. I don't get much sleep. So if anyone knows, I get up at 2 a.m. to go to work, and then I will finish probably about 9, 10 o'clock if depending on what day it is. So. Most of the time I do normally about 6-7 hours, but it depends. They ask me to stay later, they ask me to stay later, and sometimes it depends on the day. Like if I'm feeling good. If not, I've got a commitment, so it's fine. So I always do roughly about 45 hours a week. So it's fine. But it's just the fact like when you go to regionals, you're like, oh, I'm not good with these. But there's the thing about you kind of, in some ways it is quite nice because you more argue with rulings a bit more because you're more testy. So I think in some ways that really does help. I'll say that to you. Come in tired, you're more of an asshole. You know your rules, you're an asshole. But yeah, I will do that for you. Please in the comments let me know what deck profile you'd like to see up next. So Ice Shade's in a weird place where I'm twinking with it, so I've been testing it with real life and online, so it's in a very odd spot, especially because new support comes out with Brothers of Legend, so it's kind of like it's not in the place I want it to be, but it's closer than it should be. And then the new stuff comes out next year, so I'm like, I don't want to dedicate too much to getting too much new stuff for it because I'm going to have to completely rechange it later on anyway, so that's fine. I'm still modifying Chalmers. Chalmers is such a fun deck, I love it. I do want to do something with Counter Fairies again. I don't know why I want to do something with Counter Fairies. So we'll see about that. So we'll have some fun with Counter Fairies at some point, I think. But yeah, so the decks, people can list in the comments. So I've got Evil Swarm, I haven't done anything with that for a while, so that should be interesting if I do see a concept for that. Very good, this format, Evil Swarm. It's been testing it online. People hate that deck. I just don't think I want to play it because, like, just I'm the most hated guy in the room. So, and plus you never exceed 3 summons ever. So, okay. But let me know. So it's either Gogi, Shadows, Chalmers, or one of those. Let me know. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. See you guys. Over now.